Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Sports Fellas.
Hey, here we go. Yeah. What's up, guys? It's your Buckeye Believin', Rock Chalk Jayhawkin', Royals rockin', Wichita State shockin', Houday hopeful, Captain Chris with a K.
Yeah, and it's your boy Tristan, and it's Edward.
Hey, it's Brent. I'm back, baby.
OG.
And Nicholas Alexander.
And this is your host, Carlos. We're going to keep it simple. You know me, the Rated R Superstar. You guys, we're going to break down the NFL schedule finally out for the 2022 and 23 season. Also, the NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs. So other than that, let's go ahead and give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
1990, Wichita's own Superstar Sports has everything for the fans' needs, whereas for NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, or either college. So please check them out at either the Town West Mall in Wichita, Kansas, or the Town East Mall, Wichita, Kansas. Whereas Superstar Sports, where every fan is welcome.
All right, you guys. So the Stanley Cup playoffs right now is heating up. So anybody here hockey fans?
Sorry, no.
Yeah, not really.
This is what happens.
No,
this is what
not
happens
really.
when you're in the Midwest. It's just not happening. Brent, you.
I watch a little bit, but I wouldn't say that I'm a gigantic fan.
I think you've beat all of us then if you watch a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to take one for the team. Hey, you guys, my Penguins, they forced the game. Well, the Rangers forced a Game 7. I feel pretty good that the Penguins are going to win, hopefully. The Carolina Hurricanes, beat the Boston Bruins, so they are in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're the hot team going in. We're awaiting the Maple Leafs and the Lightning, Game 7. And I believe the Dallas Stars are
Tied 3-3, I think.
okay. So we will on the next show we'll talk more about it. Okay, on over to the NBA. This is going to be interesting. We're going to talk a little bit about how the playoffs broke down and looking forward to the East and Western Conference Finals. So I'm going to start this off with Brent here. Brent, first of all, I want to say I'm glad you're back.
Me too, man. It's been crazy. I love my kids, but I got to get out of the house. I got to get the heck out of the house.
I don't know what was going to come first, our reunion or the Avatar sequel. And, hey, we beat it.
That's right.
We beat it.
Boom, bam.
So we beat it. All right, Brent, I'm going to start this off with you. Game 7, Milwaukee Bucks going to Boston. What do you think is going to go down?
Well, it's kind of crazy because I'm wearing a Giannis hat. I know you can't see that, but I'm wearing a Giannis hat. But I'm going to have to go with the Celtics. Defense in the playoffs is big. And the Celtics are going to lock it up there at home. I'm sure Giannis will get his. I feel like we'll lock down everybody else and do what the Celtics need to do to take that W home.
How about you, Ed?
I believe it will be Bucks in 7. Giannis is going to have a very, very great game with Game 6. With how he added, I just feel that their defense is gonna be able to lock down and find a game plan for Jason Tatum, because Game 6 they had no answers for him behind the arc, and somehow, some way, I feel the Bucks are just gonna find the right game plan to stop him.
So explain to me real quick: are the Bucks at full strength right now? Aren't they down a person?
Yeah, they're down Chris Middleton.
Yeah, that's a big one to be down.
Absolutely.
But it's also, pretty big, them being down, their, main guy or their second main guy. But Drew, Giannis, I feel they have, the enough strength to bring down the Celtics tomorrow.
I got to say that while I think Giannis has been having a great playoff so far, I just can't see Drew Holiday getting them there. It's tough. If he has another 17, 14, 15-point game, I don't see the Bucks pulling it off. Giannis just can't do it all himself. He's got to have some help in the scoring department. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. It's pretty neck and neck. I think the Bucks might just pull it out, but it's one of those ones that can go back and forth for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a Game 7, so we got two very good teams that have played each other a lot and really are going to put it on the edge there. So I like the Celtics with their coach there. I think they've got a little bit of a leg up there in the time. But you can't really count out Giannis. I mean, ex-MVP of the finals. He knows how to get some stuff done, and they've been there before. They've been under pressure. It's going to be a good game. I'm going to just withhold my vote on this one. I think it's too close for me personally to call.
You know the crazy part
I
about
know I'm whooping out on it.
Sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to
You're
talk over
okay.
you. You know the crazy part about what people don't think about the Celtics is they almost have two coaches, right? They have this new coach, and Brad Stevens,
Because he's
in
moving
the
towards
office.
first front office, yeah.
right? But you know he's still got his hand
Oh.
in that mix, right? So that's what I'm saying in a Game 7 at home with the defense that they have. I get it, MVP type player with Giannis, but man, that defense and that coaching is gonna take it down. I promise you.
So, Brent, I want to ask you, and you as well, Ed. Okay, so we already know the Heat advanced. They beat the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
If I was the Miami Heat, Coach Spoelstra, and then we've got, of course, the man upstairs, the legend, Pat Riley, who would you want to play against? Who would you want to rather play against, the Bucks or the Celtics? I'll start this off with you, Ed.
Probably the Celtics.
Brent?
Oh, that's a good. I think they probably match up better with the Bucks, honestly. So
I was thinking the Bucks as well.
Yeah.
I think the Celtics can beat. I mean, if you look at the history, I mean, the Celtics can match up to Miami because Miami does not travel well going from there to there. I mean, if you looked at the games when LeBron and D Wade and they were all there, you'd notice that Boston would just beat them at home. I mean, they had one big game there, but I just feel with the talent that Miami has, they'd rather go against the Bucks because they're short a guy.
Yeah.
If the Bucks are able, and they're going to be tired, Ed. They're going to be tired. I mean,
Yeah.
Both
they
these
will,
teams
yeah.
are going to be tired.
Yeah,
but
because Game 5 and Game 6, Giannis, he was out of breath. But the reason why I'm saying the Celtics, it's because, Miami's bench, it's pretty deep. So I highly doubt that series will go more than 6 games, and Miami will end up winning it. And the reason why I said, that they don't want to see the Bucks because, I've been reading, some sources and stuff. They say Chris Middleton may come back by Game 1, and hypothetically speaking,
that could change some things if they
if Middleton
make it
can
out.
come at 70-75%, and Drew Holiday's hopeful he can average at least 20, and then Giannis 30 to 35 a game. Miami has no chance with them.
I don't think Miami has a chance against either one of them. To be honest with you, I think if the Bucks come out, Celtics come out, they're going to the finals. That's my call. Okay. Hopefully, you didn't ruin another episode where we're going to talk about that. But it's a precursor. I mean, like I said, two top-notch teams in the East going at it right now, and again, one of those two I feel like will be in the finals.
All right, in the next episode, we'll find out who it is, and then we will do the special edition of the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, so be on the lookout for that. Let's go ahead and move on over to the West. So the Warriors beat the Grizzlies the other day, so the Warriors are awaiting against the teams that are playing in Game 7. My team, the Dallas Mavericks, against the Phoenix Suns. Chris, who are you taking for Game 7?
On the Mavs and Suns? I think I'm going to go with the Suns. I think Chris Paul this is kind of his last shot with the Suns to get him, and possibly his last shot himself to get a ring. So I think that they're going to give everything they've got for the rest they've got going on. I don't know that it's going to be enough to actually get them there to the finals because they've got some stiff competition to get, but I think it's going to get them, not that the Mavs are bad, but I mean, they're very good too, obviously.
Oh, I think it's totally going to be the Suns. This is the Suns' game to lose here. I'm a huge Suns fan. Because Kansas City doesn't have a NBA team. We should have the Kings. I'm just saying. This guy over here agrees.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it's going to be the Suns just because Chris Paul, he's too good, especially if you get him in the fourth quarter and he's had a good game already. If you're leading in the fourth quarter with Chris Paul, it's over. So it's going to be tough. But Mavericks, I just don't think they have the bench. I don't think they have the support around Luka, yeah. So, but yeah, I think it'll be Suns, but I think the Suns will fall to the Warriors.
Ed?
Yeah, my pick will be the Suns. But I sort of am rooting for the Mavs, to win Game 7. But in order, for them to do that, they have to have another Game 6. And Luka just has to shoot, lights out. He has to at least 40 plus. Plus, some help, from, his teammates. So, but, however, the Warriors will beat either teams. So.
Yeah. No, Ed hit it on the head. I think the Warriors beat either one of those teams. But, I'm going to straddle the fence here. I want the Mavs to win so bad. I really do. And Ed's right. He's going to take 40-plus points for Luka for them to have a chance. But my heart's telling me, my brain, the smart money would say, go with the Suns. And that's probably who I'm going to go with. But I really want the Mavs to pull it out. So it'll be interesting to see, though.
My mind and heart is going for the Mavs. But my wallet, my knowledge is telling me it's the Suns. You can't look. The Mavs have not been able to beat Phoenix at Phoenix, and the crowd there is phenomenal. I mean, just the electricity that they bring there is just electrifying. And the thing is that Chris Paul, that's who I'm keen on. I mean, we need Booker to do what he's got to do. He'll be a supporting cast. He's going to be killing it. But it's just Chris Paul. I just feel this is his last shot going in. I just feel like he's going to go in with heart. Now, we already discussed about the Warriors. The Warriors are scary.
Yeah. They're
scary. These guys, with them all being back now, and then now they got that Poole guy. This is Steve Kerr's just sitting back like, yeah.
And Wiggins finally looked like he remembers how to play basketball.
Yeah. Hey, you guys support your KU alumni. So
that's best with Wiggins.
All right, you guys. So that concludes the basketball. So we will tune in a little bit more when we get into the conference finals. All right, let's go ahead and have a quick pause, and let's talk about the NFL season.
My favorite segment.
All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the NFL schedule. So he beat us to the punch here. All right, so since you beat us to the punch, we're going to start it off with you. So today we're going to talk about the AFC West, the NFC West. So you're a Chiefs fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and break it down with the AFC West. So starting off with you, how do you feel, Nick, about your Kansas City Chiefs this season?
Well, we're going to win almost every game and get to the Super Bowl again, and especially the Broncos. We're going to beat them again both times for a bit. No, it's going to be hard as heck. I see this. I thought last year was a really close year for every team in that division. Almost all of them went to the playoffs except for the Broncos. But now that they have the appropriate quarterback, God, it's even going to be even closer. I think the Chiefs, if they pull it off, they're going to just pull it off. With the amazing draft they had, they could pull it off. But this is the first time I felt uncertain about a Chiefs team in quite a while, as far as the regular season is concerned. So, yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are going to do that is spectacular, at least compared to other years.
Chris?
Are we just the Chiefs or AFC West?
The AFC West. You can.
There's a lot of games that I think are going to be really fun. I think just overall, in general, watching all the AFC West play each other is going to be really fun. It was last year, and I think it's going to be even more fun this year. Chiefs have owned them for like 6 years straight, 7 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we have.
I mean, you're getting up there close to the Patriots levels of division owning. So that's going to be fun because I think some of those other teams have started to catch up with the Chiefs because now the Chiefs are having to pay Patrick Mahomes, and that changes the way a team can be built. Once Packers have been dealing with it for years with Rodgers, they still make the playoffs, but to get over a hump, you've got to have some other special players. So I think that's going to be interesting with all the new hires and new trades, and I mean the AFC West is probably the most changed division in football, I think. I mean, when you look at Russell Wilson, Josh McDaniels, Khalil Mack, Devontae Parker, and the changes for the Chiefs losing Hill and I don't even know who all they lose. I'm not a Chiefs fan. Let me specify that. But there's going to be some really good games. Playing the West, I think the AFC, of course they're playing the West, but the AFC West versus the NFC West because they're going to be playing each other. There's going to be some great games. I'm really looking forward to the Rams and the Chiefs. That could be a Super Bowl preview. Just like, two teams. Any of those games could be Super Bowl previews, really, because the NFC West looks really strong, as well as the AFC West.
How about you, Tris?
If it's not going to be the Chiefs taking first, it's going to be the Chargers. But it's going to be a tight – yeah, it's going to be a tight division this year. I still got, faith in my Chiefs. I feel like we'll take first. There's no way we can't. Even with all the additions, we'll probably split with the Chargers again, beat the Broncos twice. And whatever. Jerry Judy's in hot water right now, so that doesn't help y'all.
We got lawyers, by the way. Just throwing it out there for you.
But – yeah,
roll Tide.
I think that the Bucks game against the Chiefs is going to be really good, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a Bucks
Yeah.
blowout.
We got a crazy schedule this year. I'm sure everybody's seen we have like the first 8 games against winning teams. So it's going to be really tough. And I feel like, that's just good for us to see, we're this good of a team. We can take it, So, yeah, I look forward to it.
So I'm probably going to take the Broncos winning the AFC West.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're trying to get some brownie points.
Hey, Ed, I got a special seat for you right here. You get the cool mic right over here.
Is that a shot of tequila you're pouring him?
Well, tell us why. We're intrigued. Tell us why.
Really, Broncos, really, they were just missing a quarterback. And them getting, Russell Wilson, this offseason, it's just a, major win. But however, how Justin mentioned, Jerry Jeudy, you kind of don't know what's gonna happen with him. However, it'll be pretty close between the Raiders and the Chiefs. However, it can be also a two-way tie with the Broncos and the Raiders, but it just all depends with Derek Carr, because he has a receiver in Adams.
Brent.
Well, let me preface this by saying this is not rooted in any kind of hate whatsoever, but Ed's partly right. They needed a quarterback, and they also needed the offensive line, which they did not get.
Yeah.
Right? So Russell, I should say, has left Seattle, where he ran for his life the entire season last year, if you watch those games.
Too possible.
And he's going to the same thing in the Broncos.
With higher elevation.
So here's how it's going to go. All right? And then we could go back to this later on in the year, because I've been right many a times about football. I promise you can check the tape. So here's the deal. It'll be the Chiefs. The best thing that happened to the Chiefs, honestly, and hear me out before you start thinking I'm crazy, is when we got rid of Hill. Okay? Agreed. Now here's why. They're sitting back, and the defense on the other team is who I'm talking about. They're sitting back too deep all day last year against Mahomes, right? Mm-hmm. And it affected him. He had to learn how to be a different type of quarterback. Well, guess what's going to happen next year? He's not going to see all that for a while. So he's going to pick apart the defense like he's done 2-3 years ago, and he's going to be that quarterback that won him an MVP. All right? The additions we have, Sky Moore, while he isn't Tyreek Hill, he's the piece that we needed. We got MVS from the Packers. And then most importantly, we have a defense that's scary. Now, on paper, it's scary. We got to put it together. But we have one of the top defensive coordinators in the league, right, that's going to change the scheme, right? There's already been rumbles about that. They're going to change the scheme. So Chiefs will win the division. It'll be close. Chargers second. Broncos third. Raiders fourth. Think about the Raiders. Derek Carr is their quarterback. Okay, you can add all the pieces you want to.
Yeah. Derek
Carr is the quarterback still. Now he's a decent quarterback, but he's not going to take you to the Super Bowl.
He gets you to a wild card game and
absolutely and lose
and throw an interception.
Right now, Russell. If you put Russell in the Raiders, that's a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's a Super Bowl team, but not Derek. Sorry. And then the Chargers, they stayed pretty much the same. They added some pretty strong pieces, and they were already strong. So, I'm going to just say we'll split with the Chargers, kind of like I believe he said, and that's it. I mean, the NFL is not ready for what's going to happen with Patrick Mahomes. He's going to win MVP. I'm telling you. Write that down.
Okay,
Everybody
we got
home,
it. We
write it
we
down.
got it dotted. We got it dotted.
right.
So, and we're going to be on all major platforms here.
All right.
So we made some big changes. So I'm going to
Going
make
out
sure
global.
everybody from the West Coast all the way to the South, all the way to the East, and even foreigners are going to hear what you just said, Brent, okay?
Yeah.
I just want to just throw it out there to you.
Make sure they see my
So
picture.
if
know
they come
who I am.
back, and say, hey, you know that guy named Brent when he said that? Well, he needs to go. And then you go over there with First Take with Molly.
Oh, you don't even have
Make
to.
us-
You don't even have to worry. I will make sure that everybody remembers what I said. 'Cause
Okay.
it's gonna happen, baby.
Okay.
happen.
I
All
agree.
right. Well, and let me just say this. Okay, I'm just going to say this. Got to hand it to you, Brent. He's got a solid point. Let's just facts are facts. The Chiefs, Andy Reid has done a phenomenal job putting everything together. But in the midst of everything, while you guys have been riding high, the teams have been observing, have been watching. We're going to start this to the Raiders. Finally, they have a coach and Josh McDaniels. Let's see if this second stint around he does something right. Mm-hmm. But what he's going to do is he's going to work with Derek Carr and telling him stop throwing the ball so much. Let's work with your progressions. Let's look at your checkdowns. Get Josh Jacobs running the ball. Get him going. Darren Waller, you already know already that's one of his favorite targets. So, but you got Winfro. I mean, the guy's phenomenal. I mean, he's not as a Cooper Kupp, but he's there. He's consistent. Now you got Adams. I'm sorry. Devontae Adams. Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. I'm not going to say they're going to win the division, but I'm going to put the word asterisk here. The Raiders are going to be an interesting team to watch because their schedule's not brutal. It's not. So that could be towards their advantage to sit back and say, okay, while the Chiefs is getting beat up over here, Denver's got a little bit going on here, the Chargers are going on over here, we're just going to ride, we're going to coast it through. I mean, look at some of the games. Seattle, I don't think Seattle's going to be much of a threat this year. I mean, what do they got going on? Not really much of nothing.
Drew Lock.
Everybody be afraid of Drew Lock. He's coming.
Oh, God. If he does one more touchdown celebration, I'm going to shut the TV off. I will tell you that. But now let's look at the Chiefs. Of course, I mean, they picked up, Juju. You've got some awesome draft picks. But here's the thing. With no Tyreek, your run game's still pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. You guys are proficient at that. But I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. And now you guys mark this. Every time the Chargers and Chiefs play, the Chargers somehow, I don't know why, and I've said this for the longest time, look at the way how they play against the Chiefs. The teams start copying how they're playing against the Chiefs. When I was talking about Bosa last year, I said, look, Bosa's going to run up the middle. You notice that, Brent? Every time, I don't know what it is, but when Bosa's going up against Mahomes is running for his life. And now you got Khalil Mack on the other side. I mean, it's going to be like collapsing. Now the question's going to be, well, here's the thing. Mahomes is a smart quarterback. He's a great quarterback. Even though he plays for the Chiefs, he's a fun player to watch. I have to hand it to him. He's amazing to watch.
Well, the Chiefs. Speaking of the Chiefs, they have one of the best offensive line in the NFL, and it's deep. We picked up some backups that if somebody goes down, we're not going to be hurting. So that's the thing that people forget too, is we have an established offensive line that is going to allow that man, hopefully, to not have to scramble around like Russell last year.
For the AFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, see,
because there was no backup for your mascot. He stayed down after that field goal.
Yeah.
He was pretty down.
It goes back to what I said about depth on the offensive line because we had some injuries, right? And that's not an excuse, right? But the next man's got to come up, got to step up and take care of business. Now we have some depth.
Now,
And they're young.
and now put icing on the cake real quick. So now with Denver, we've got now Russell Wilson. That's awesome. We got Russell Wilson. We've got a quarterback that's got experience, and that's going to help lead. Now, the legal issues of Jerry Jeudy, we'll find out. That's yet to be seen. But, I mean, our core is not bad. And defensively, they've gotten better. They're young. Now, I'm not going to sit there and say they're going to win the division. I truly believe it's going to be between the Chiefs and Chargers. Justin Herbert is just growing and getting better. The way he has that relationship with Mike Williams, with Keenan Allen. I mean, Keenan Allen is getting a little older, but they picked up another wide receiver Their run game, they got another rookie running back. They now on their defense side, now they've got some pressure going on. But here's the thing. The AFC West is up for grabs. That's how I'm pretty much seeing it. So we will talk a little bit more later on about that division, but let's go ahead and move over to the other conference side, where the NFC West. Been a big shakeup. So let's start with the Los Angeles Rams, the Super Bowl champions. They beat our friend Chris's team here, the Bengals. They beat you guys. So I'm going to start this off with you. Put some salt in the wound here.
Yeah, appreciate
How do you think the Rams are going to do this year?
They'll be contending for the division and up there heading towards the Super Bowl. They didn't lose much, I don't believe, other than probably Von Miller was their biggest loss, which he was just sign and trade. And
then Eric Weddle he retired.
I mean, he wasn't
That's
even,
so awesome.
He was only on the team for 3 games.
Play on the Super Bowl
whatever.
just to go back. Like, okay, thanks, guys. I got my ring. Now I'm going.
Well, yeah, they don't have OBJ anymore either. Which
those were all pieces that they just.
Yeah.
I mean, they could find guys like that. Yeah, they could find guys
OBJ
like that.
didn't get re-signed?
No, he's still a free agent. Right?
Yeah,
Not there yet. They still might, but
Come to Denver.
see how much
We'll
money.
take
he
you.
has.
Oh, no, stop it.
Come to Denver. It's all right.
Yeah, so the Rams are going to be up there. I'm curious to see. Seattle's probably going to be a dumpster fire. Curious to see what San Francisco does with their quarterbacks because they still got 2 of them, and they got to pick which one to play and which one to get rid of. Mm-hmm. And then is Kyler Murray? Is he still playing for the Cardinals? Because he got all kind of throwing a hissy fit there for a while. So
You know how they do it in Oklahoma. They just, I don't blame them. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you're an OU fan. My bad.
Oh,
Chris.
no, you're good, bro.
All right.
We all make mistakes.
So yeah, it's going to be a good. This is again going to be a good division. I mean, that was a good division. You had both 2 in the NFC Championship game, 2 NFC West teams in it, the Niners and the Rams. So, I mean, this is a strong division. I think the top end at least seems to be chugging right along, whereas Seattle's just decided to jump ship. We'll see.
How about you, Nick?
You don't have to say, the AFC West seems like it's pretty complete, and it seems like each team has just bolted on these amazing additions under each team, except for the Raiders hiring Josh McDaniels. That was a nightmare decision. But as far as it seems like the NFC West has all these weird head scratchers. It's like, Kyler Murray and all his drama stuff, and then super odd, and then getting all this extra wide receiver, Hollywood Brown. I don't know how that's going to work out because they already had a bajillion good wide receivers, and with the Seattle Seahawks, they're basically depleted. Like it's almost they have nothing left in the tank. I don't even know if there's a single good player on that team, like one that stands out to me, like a superstar.
DK Metcalf and Tyler
aside
Lockett.
from them. But not after
who's gonna
this
give
year.
him the numbers?
Not after
They don't
this
have a
year,
quarterback. Yeah.
He's not going to have anything after this year. He should have signed big before Wilson left.
Okay, how about you, Brent?
Well, we forget too for the Cardinals that Hopkins is going to be out blank amount of games for Beaver tranquilizer or whatever the heck he was on.
Oh, is he on a?
Yeah,
I think it was
he's on
6
some
games,
PED, so he's out 6 games. So the Brown move kind of makes sense, but they did it before that, so you're kind of like, what? But it makes sense now. It's the Rams. It's got to be the Rams. As Chris said, the 49ers don't even know what they want to do with their quarterback. The Rams didn't lose very many key players. I mean, Von Miller's a big piece, but they'll be okay. So Rams will go away when that. Seattle's rebuilding. They'll be back in a couple years. I think they're smartly rebuilding. Some of the moves they made have made sense for what they're trying to do. So
they're basically scrapping this year, though, as a
This
is a full rebuild.
They don't plan on winning anything, and they'll
the first pick of the draft is what they're wanting to win.
Absolutely, they need a quarterback. I'm surprised they didn't pick up that Willis kid. I believe was his name. I thought really they were gonna Malik Willis. I believe his name. I think they were gonna. I thought they were gonna try to make that move in the draft. They just didn't pull the trigger. Maybe they see something next year. So,
how about you, Ed?
Well, for one, Seahawks, we definitely know, they're rebuilding, and Cardinals, you don't know what to expect from them. I mean, they did, win 10, 11 straight last season, and after that, I mean, it just went downhill with, of course, Hopkins was out, and then Watt was out as well on the defensive end, so you kind of don't know what, to expect from them. And if the 49ers are able to figure out what they're going to do with both Jimmy and Trey Lance, then, they might have a shot, with the Rams. If not, the Rams will possibly win it out.
That loud sound was the Seattle Seahawks front office for the season. They went ahead, shut the door, and they left. I'm going to make this pretty simple. The NFC West, you have the reigning Super Bowl champions of the Rams. Right now, they're playing mighty high right now. Look, they're coming off a great Super Bowl win. They put their pieces together. Yes, Von Miller went to the Bills, but hey, he did his part, and he's gone. Eric Weddle went ahead and went back to coaching some team somewhere, high school. Hey, you got your ring. You look great. Now, let's look at overall the team that has given them the hardest time is the San Francisco 49ers. People keep forgetting the defense carried them on throughout the playoffs. They beat your team, the Cowboys.
2 years in a row they've done that.
So look at it like this. San Francisco, John Lynch really has to get this together.
Yep.
And figure out what they're going to do. Because Garoppolo's not a bad quarterback. He's really not.
No.
I'm not going to put him up high, not super low. He's not a bad quarterback. But here's the thing. That game against the Rams at the end, when you could tell it was just one of those plays that the defense got to him, and he just kind of did a wild throw. Deebo Samuel has to stay on the team. Make this man happy. Make this man happy. This guy is a great player to watch as well. And then if they can get their running backs healthy again, they're going to be a great team. So I still think I agree with Brent. I still believe the Rams are going to run away with the division, but it'll be another scenario. The 49ers, wild card spot. I think they'll get in there. The Cardinals, if they don't take care of that internal dramas going on, they're gonna flop. They're going to be an average team. And Seattle, they're going to sit back and just have to rebuild. So that's my take on that, you guys. So next week we will talk another divisions of the NFC East and the NFC and the AFC. So let's go ahead. Let's move on real quick on to the segment. You want your prize? This is it. So before that, let's give a quick pause and take our following sponsors.
Hey guys, it's time for Eddie Money's Sports Thought, brought to you by State Farm. Ernie Ruelas. Call Ernie at 316-682-2300.
I got money.
All right, this is that time. Eddie Money Sports Thoughts. You guys, this is the segment here where you can get a prize. And this week's prize, if you are a Chiefs fan, hold on everybody. If you are a Chiefs fan, we're giving away Kansas City Chiefs a floor mat.
Boom.
Awesome. I mean, nice logo. I mean, you can stomp on it. Don't even put a cover.
There we go.
During the rain, the snow, dirt, cover it.
Protect it with your
life.
It
could be a sign of their season, just dirt. But we don't know yet. But hey, we're giving that away. If you are not a Chiefs fan, we will give you a gift certificate to go to Superstar Sports here in Wichita, Kansas, at the Town East or Town West Mall. For our out-of-towners, if you're an out-of-towner, let us know, and we'll give you a gift certificate to go to Lids or any of your local sports stores. So, Ed, we're going to go ahead and ask you the question. With the Dallas Cowboys strength of schedule rated as easy, like Madden easy, how will Dallas be doing this upcoming year?
I mean, as a Cowboys fan, it's difficult to say because, they start out the season, strong. Then mid-season, it's like a downhill. And then possibly between weeks 12 and 14, it's, it goes up and then it goes down. And then, we barely sneak into a wild card game. I mean, of course, we'll win our division. I don't see the Eagles, the Giants, or the Commanders really competing.
The Commanders.
Yeah. So where the Eagles did add, A.J. Brown, but, Jalen Hurts, I mean, he is one of my favorite quarterbacks. I'm also an OU fan. So
we're going to cut that off real quick. We're going to do some substitutes here.
But back to, the Dallas schedule. I expect them to win at the minimum 10 games. But really when it comes to the games where it matters, which is, the playoffs, they'll probably disappoint again in the wild card.
Kind of like a relationship, huh?
Basically.
Gotcha. Brent, go ahead. Get at him. Get at this Cowboy fan. Get at him.
Man, he told the truth. I appreciate that when you're realistic with your team. You know, he hit all my key points. But I would tell you, the schedule does look easy. Jaguars, Lions on there. Titans, I don't know. I'm not.
It's hit or miss.
Yeah, I think they're 8-8 this year, especially with the Titans kind of drafting that quarterback. I think that's going to affect Tannehill.
Yeah.
But I think that's the Eagles division next year. He was kind of alluding to it. Jalen figures it out. What is it? Year 2, year 3?
Year 3.
Year 3.
Or year 2 as a starter.
Yeah. So there you go. So year 3, and in some of the pieces they put together, I think Dallas will make the playoffs a wild card. Maybe as Eddie said as well. I feel like what's holding the Cowboys back is Jerry Jones.
Yep.
You know, you give a lot of money to a running back in a league that we don't run the ball, right?
And it seems like every season he's been going down. He went from averaging 106 to 103, then 90, then 84.
And your backups, their quote unquote backup is their better running back.
Yep.
And should be playing and did in some cases towards the end of the year more. So Jerry Jones, to me, the best thing that could happen to the Cowboys is I'm never going to wish death on somebody, but Jerry to lose his mind and they have to put him in a home. How about that?
And then also, just one last thing, with Dak, he's basically, the Cowboy season. It's up, down with him. He has great games against, below 500 teams, and then, playoff teams. He doesn't show up.
Oh, yeah, every point you made, man. I liked all of it. And the Eagles, I definitely see the Eagles taking the division. Every single team in the NFC East, I think, has, probably one of the easiest schedules.
It's easiest.
Or ranked as the easiest, yeah. So, it's not just the Cowboys. It's also the Eagles, who are much better. A.J. Brown, a big addition. Now they don't have to rely on so much running the ball so much. They can actually try to pass a little bit.
I got a question because I don't know the answer. Who is the Commanders' quarterback?
Carson Wentz.
Oh, Carson Wentz.
They picked up Wentz.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a step up for them, right?
Yeah, that is a step up.
From last year.
Half a step, maybe.
Well, they had what's his name?
Heineke.
Well,
Fitzpatrick.
Patrick would have,
But he played half a down.
Yeah, he would have.
Before he got hurt.
He might have took him to the division last year. He would have stayed
If he
healthy.
could have played.
Wentz might be okay. I still don't think the Cowboys.
Yeah. I think the Colts is a safer organization, and he couldn't succeed there. So
yeah, that's true.
Because he had the receivers, with the Colts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
not the greatest, but
and then the Commanders, who do they have?
Terry McLaurin, and that's
but,
it.
Yeah,
they drafted a
and no run game.
What a tight end is pretty decent.
You had Taylor in
McKissick is not bad
Indianapolis.
running back, isn't he? J.D. McKissick.
No, he's not that bad.
He's not bad.
See that? Is that
No,
serious?
didn't they have another guy?
Yeah.
No, the
Antonio
tight
Gibson
end.
is
They're tight. Yeah, Gibson, and then the
Logan
tight end.
Thomas was
Yeah.
the one who died at the beginning of the season.
But Indianapolis had a great run game, and Carson Wentz couldn't get over not having enough pressure. They had
true.
Jason Taylor. So.
What
Carson
about
Wentz has
you?
his moments.
What about you, Nick? Who are you taking?
Oh.
Do you agree with if Dallas is going? What's your thoughts?
Well, my issue with Dallas is that their quarterback is basically like a slightly better Alex Smith. He can make some good passes. He just
comparison.
Yeah, he just doesn't take you all the way just because he can't. In big games, he can fold sometimes. In games that you expect him to win, they lose, and it always hurts him every year.
Does that make you angry, Ed? That he's talking
It
like
does.
that.
No,
Keep going. Keep it going.
Alex
Keep it
Smith.
going.
No. So then it's I think the Giants are a lost cause for a while. They had a wonderful draft, but it'll be the Eagles. I can't see Washington pulling it out with Carson Wentz just because they don't have a complete built team on defense or offense. But with the Eagles, not only did they have a phenomenal draft, they're starting to build good pieces. They went to the playoffs last year. We can't forget that. And so I have to imagine them with N'Kobe Dean. He's going to be a day one starter. They got him in the third round. A.J. Brown, And then who's their wide receiver? Is it Weddle? Or
No, Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith. He was
from last year's draft.
Phenomenal.
He was great.
Draft. They seem like they have the more complete team right now, and somehow Nick Sirianni is a good coach.
I know, as weird as he comes off, right?
Seriously.
He just seems like an odd guy.
I remember him when he was on the Todd Haley Chiefs staff as like a quality control coordinator, and now he's like really decent coach with the Philadelphia Eagles. It'll be the Eagles for sure, unless they just win a lot of games that they shouldn't win.
But yeah, with Jalen Hurts, it's either he's gonna show out or he's gonna get exposed because the pieces are there.
I feel like it's the same with Dak though. So.
Well, I mean,
it'll be curious to see what Dak does this year without, because he lost Amari Cooper, right?
Yep.
I mean, CeeDee Lamb was really coming on anyway.
They lost Cedric Wilson. Who's their number 2 now? They do
Yeah.
have CeeDee Lamb.
Dallas fan.
Gallup, isn't it?
Is it still
Gallup?
Gallup?
Gallup is there.
Yeah.
Or Gallup, I believe.
Yeah, CD, Gallup, and then
Really got to have 3 nowadays.
That one guy.
I mean, y'all have a great tight end. Y'all have Dalton Schultz. Where's that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're
Dalton
right. You're right.
Schultz.
Dalton Schultz was good.
When it comes down to it, man, I'm leaning towards the Eagles. I just feel they're the fresher, younger team. But see, no one put no respect on Parsons. That guy's a phenomenal defensive player.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, here's the thing.
Or,
if Dallas plays their cards
Diggs.
right, they get if they play their cards right, play their fundamental football, capitalize on turnovers. See that game against Denver. Remember they were on a high, and then when Denver came into town last year, we
blew the brakes.
we just straight beat them.
Yeah.
We beat them, and then the Chiefs beat you guys, and then I just start sitting back that Charger game. The Chargers should have won, but we'll leave that. That's the story for another day. Dallas, you guys,
But
and
look,
then if Zeke is not going to do anything this year, cut your lot. Just take an L. Let's just take an L. Move on, because Zeke. The thing is, okay. So first he put on the weight, then he lost the weight.
He's got to be
and then
close to earning his way out of the contract. I mean,
and then he went to
that
Cabo
was-
to sit out because they weren't working his contract, and then from there it just went downhill.
Is that how you guys
Yeah.
do it at Ohio State? Is that how you guys do it?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Just
Zeke, he didn't act that way in Ohio.
just
Something in that Dallas water.
All right. Well, we're gonna stay tuned with the Dallas Cowboys here. So, all right. So you guys know the drill. If you guys want to get in this contest, like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube. Razor Cut Information. You can go to iTunes, RCI Podcasts, or at Spotify as well. Razor Cut Information. Just tune in, sign in, and then we'll draw out the winners. On the next show, we'll announce the winners. All right. We're gonna give a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
What's up, folks? It's your pal, Chris with a K. Let me introduce you to a new friend of mine, Ryan Wagner at Wag Sports Memorabilia in Des Moines, Iowa. Your number one source for sports memorabilia. We're talking hats, t-shirts, jackets, and all sorts of other items. And not only that, Ryan can get you any of these items for any team, NCAA, NFL, NBA, and the Major League Baseball guys. So make sure if you're in Iowa, and especially Des Moines, stop in at Wag Sports Memorabilia. Also find them on the web at www.wagsports.com. Thanks, Ryan. You guys have a great day.
This is it, you guys. This is when all jokes are set aside. When you start putting your facts, your heart, your sweat, blood, tears, all into this. The new segment was the new show. We've had it before, but we've kind of spiced it up a little bit. Our new show called Mano a Mano is brought to you by Spin It Again Entertainment. Contact our friend Aaron, the Hulk Ledesma, for your DJ needs.
You feeling lucky, punk?
All right, we're going to start this off. Brent, the OG here. The first question will go to you. Mm-hmm. Who will prevail in the Western Conference Finals? The Warriors, or depending on the outcome, out of the Suns and Mavs?
The Warriors.
And why?
Steph Curry
Okay.
and Steph Curry
Okay.
and Steph Curry and a little bit of Steve Kerr.
Okay. Nick.
Oh, it's the Warriors without question. They're shooting amazing right now. So, basically, every player starting, their bench is looking amazing. Wiggins is looking great. I don't see anyone challenging the Warriors right now, and I don't think it'll be close.
Anything to say, Brent, on that?
I mean, I don't know that Wiggins figured out how to shoot a three. But he doesn't need to against Steph Curry.
It worked like the retort.
Absolutely. Wiggins is a good player when he was at Kansas, and now
Go Jayhawks.
Go Jayhawks, and now he's. Well, maybe you're right.
Okay, so Brent won that. So case closed. Brent, good job there. All right, this question goes to you, Eddie Money. With the Celtics forcing a Game 7, will the Celtics be in the Eastern Conference Finals, or the Bucks will repeat to meet the Heat?
The Bucks will repeat to beat the Heat.
Why?
Giannis, Drew Holiday, they're just, two great, just a great duo compared to the Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, possibly, PJ Tucker. That duo, I just feel that, Giannis and Drew, they have the experience, they have the team, they have the coach, and most importantly, their fan base.
How about you, Chris?
Speaking of fan base, whoever brings the most guns.
Wow.
Too soon? Sorry. That just happened last night, I guess.
Ouch. Ed, you won that one. That was just cold. That was cold.
I'm not even watching the playoffs. That's all I
Ed, you won that one. Man, Chris, you're cold as ice.
I know. I went dark there, didn't I? I got to lighten that back up.
Whoa. All right. Tristan. With Russell Wilson returning to Seattle as a Bronco for Week 1's Monday Night Football game, how confident do you feel that Denver will beat Seattle at Seattle?
100%. Like, no questions. I mean, Denver has a good team, and, they're not too bad. Definitely better than Seattle. I mean, just look at the roster, bro. You don't even have to ask. Like, who's it gonna be? They have a great offense, and adding Russell Wilson just made it even better.
Brent?
Yeah, I can't disagree with that. I will say I feel like it'll be a close game. I think the Broncos will actually pull it out at the end. It's the first game of the season, right? So, I mean, you don't really know where you're sitting at. The preseason shortened again, I believe. So I can't argue the fact that it's not going to be the Broncos. But I feel like Seattle will be leading a good chunk of that game.
I don't know. I see the Broncos just carrying it all the way. I mean, it's the first game for both teams. Russell Wilson does have to get used to the playbook, but I feel like it won't be that difficult. They have two great running backs still, so if Russell's struggling, they can just run it however much they need to.
Seattle still has a defense, though. I mean, not much of an offense. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards, the defense there. And again, the Broncos have a pretty decent defense as well. But, oh, man, I just feel like Seattle's going to lead most of that game. They're going to probably be conservative. They're going to run the ball, and their defense is going to kind of step up. But the Broncos by a little tiny bit.
I got Broncos by like a touchdown. They'll probably score a touchdown in the second quarter, be halftime. They're up by 7.
Anybody want to chime in to help these guys out? I mean, it's pretty good right now. It's they're evened out.
Yeah, I think head with Tristan. I feel the Broncos have the slight edge, and by a somewhat of a big margin, just because the Seahawks are on rebuilding mode, and with Denver having Russell, depending on Judy, the rest of their receiving core, their defense is pretty solid. So
well, Carlos, I'm getting the rust off of me from not being a part of the team for a while, and how dare me forget that it's in Seattle.
I was about to say that.
I kind of put it out there.
The 12th man.
Loud.
The 12th man is not going to allow the Broncos to come in and do whatever they want to do. And they're going to be all up in Russell's Kool-Aid. And they're going to change it from grape to cherry to orange. Mm-hmm. So, and I can't believe I didn't say that at first. But that crowd is not going to allow Russell to even be able to hear what is going on. Man, you know what? I might be talking myself into saying Seattle might win, but I'm not that crazy. Still Broncos.
Seattle, Washington, the home of the 12th man besides Texas A&M. I heard your cries. This man straight up disrespected you. The people that come in that light rail, get off on Stadium Drive, go down the stairs, past the railroad tracks just to get into the stadium. It's going to be loud. It's super loud. Because of that highly disrespect that you did to the 12th man, Driston, I'm going to give this to you.
Oh, yeah.
So, Driston, good job. I know you're shocked. I get it. Just hang in there.
No,
all right.
I would like to.
All right. So, moving
I feel
on.
like
No, you're done, bro.
Wilson.
You're talking yourself out of it. Just stay with it, bro. He's like the Chiefs. You see that? They get all excited the first half, and then he wants to keep going the second half, and that's when they choke. So he's used to that. We get you. All right, I'm gonna start this off with you, Nick. This year, will the Chiefs reign the AFC West, or will they be dethroned, and why?
I think they will do it again. I think they'll do it again, and I think they'll do it again. I think they'll do it again, but it'll always just be barely because we have such great competition with the exception of the Oakland Raiders. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath against both times we face you, though, where we're just going to eat you alive again. The Broncos, no chance. But I think the Chargers will give us some trouble, and the Broncos will win other games that might make it a competition.
Oh, it's me. And we're talking about if the Chiefs are going to win again, man, it's hard to keep betting on the same team doing it, over and over and over. At some point you're like, statistics got to catch up. Can't win them all, right? But, I mean, Andy Reid really seems to know how to beat a lot of different coaches and game plans. He's a very good coach who's been doing it for a very long time. But just for argument's sake, I think it's time for the Chargers to finally win something. So I'm going to throw the Chargers out there. They had a pretty complete team as far as offensive and defensively. They just need and they have beat the Chiefs. They did it last year at the Chiefs, so they are able to face the noise. Herbert's a great quarterback. He sometimes does some weird. They seem to have just bad luck sometimes. Not even bad throws or bad plans, just bad luck. And so maybe that's just because they play in beautiful San Diego every day.
No, they don't. They play in Los Angeles.
That's right. You're right.
Well, you're going to take an L because it's not the Oakland Raiders. It's the Las Vegas Raiders. So, Chris, good job, bro. You made it to the playoffs. Sorry, hey, you did good, bro.
You just hate the Chiefs.
You were so close. You almost had it.
have a bias.
All right, I know. Guys, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. All right, so here we go. Playoff mode. I'm going to start this off with you, Ed. Ed, should the NFL be playing foreign games, or should they stay in the good old USA? How do you feel about the schedules of them playing in London, Germany, and Mexico?
I really feel, they should, keep on making more games in foreign countries. Just because it'll build up the brand, build up the fan base in Europe, Asia, Africa, and so forth. They definitely need to make a game somewhere in Africa, possibly South Africa. Mm-hmm. Just because the 2010 World Cup was there, so it would only do basically good, just a great. Area, to have, play, a game out there. But definitely they should, keep on, with it, with the games in Mexico. It is my hometown. That's where I was born. So,
what part of Mexico?
Durango. So, just, having the games there, it's just extremely great. Us, Hispanics, we really like, the game. To someone, I started out playing soccer and, just, getting into football and all. It's just, it's a great game, great fans, just great atmosphere. So I definitely feel, they should, keep it going, especially, with them going to Munich, this upcoming season. So
how about you, Driston?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I think they should keep expanding the games in different places. I think it helps, broaden American football, introduces it to places that wouldn't normally even know about American football. When they hear football, they think of soccer, and it's completely different over here. And, it gives them different environments, makes the game interesting. Every time anybody plays in Mexico, so high elevation compared to the U.S. Like, oh, we need to bring oxygen tanks for them on the sideline. Makes for interesting games in different environments, and yeah, I think it's a great idea to keep expanding it.
Anybody want to chime in a little bit on that?
I'm actually going to push it a little further, and I think that we need teams in Mexico and London, especially the Jaguars, because
Canada.
Oh, and Canada.
Other than Buffalo.
Yeah, move the Chargers to Canada. All right, move the Jags to Mexico because they're already in the South, and then move the Jets because they're never going to win again anyways. Move them out to London, maybe change their luck a little bit.
I like that.
Well, I will tell you that there are a lot of Hispanic folks in Mexico that are Chiefs fans. My wife's her family's from Mexico, and I promise you, there's a lot of Chiefs, not a lot of Cowboys fans too, closer to the border, but a lot of Chiefs fans down there. What Tristan said rings true to me, though. Expand the game out, right? Introduce it to people. Africa's a great idea, right? And how many, citizens of Africa understand American football, know American football, right? So introducing that kind of opens horizons not only for more fans, but also potential players.
Talent.
Right?
Those are good, strong points. I mean, next thing you know it, we're going to have games in North Korea. We'll kind of do a little amnesty there. Maybe China.
They play on cement there.
But overall, I feel that, yes, if we were going to broaden the game out, but I just wonder if that's going to affect could there be a disadvantage? That's my question of doing all the traveling. I mean, I did read an article. There is a team. I can't remember. Is it the Seahawks? I believe. There's a team in the NFL that is going to go against the traveling because they're going to be doing immense traveling. So on this one here, I'm trying to find something that's going to stand out. Ed, you got some solid points. Tristan, you do as well. But for the sake of conversation, I'm going to give this to you, Ed, just because you put in a little bit of heart in there. So I'm going to give this to you. So congratulations. You go on the next round here. All right. So, Chris, is the 76ers ready to take the next step in the next year under Doc Rivers, or is it time to make roster changes?
Oh, they got to make roster changes. They need some. Harden needs to go. And
Agreed.
I don't even watch that much NBA, and I know that they need to blow that up. The plan has failed. That's where I'm going.
Brent.
That's me. Yeah, they got to blow it up. Well, first things first, Rivers won't be the coach next year. I'm going to call that right now. He's too much of a player's coach, if that makes sense, right? So they need somebody that's just a little, just nasty.
Like Thibodeau or something?
Something like that, like Thibodeau, like who always never looks like he's happy, right? They need somebody like that there. And then, Harden has to go. He's lost speed, right? And in his game, that's important. So he's lost, not completely lost speed, but he's lost a step, right? So, and then you look at the last game, and he just completely crapped down his leg, right? Just completely crapped down his leg. Didn't show up big. What, he had 12 points?
I think it was
11 points
and only 2 shots.
Yeah,
I mean,
second half.
Didn't even want to show up. So he's too worried about his image. You could build around Embiid if you could keep him healthy. Some of the other players around there, but I just think they take a step back next year. In my opinion, not much.
Depending on what they can do on the off season,
right?
I mean, you never know,
who
might flutter through the door, but
absolutely. And there's some big name free agents coming this summer. You never really know in the NBA.
I believe it's the Kardashian curse on Harden. I'm calling it out there.
Is he dating one of the Kardashians?
No, he used to, the Khloe one.
Oh, really?
All right, but hey,
dated her, I think.
Anything to put on that, or that's?
I have all I have for NBA.
Okay, well, all right, Brent. So we'll go ahead and give you that one. So here we go. This is it. So we got Brent against Ed in the championship here. So you guys can chime in, help out, no problem. So make your cases strong. Okay, I'm going to start this off with you, Ed. Does the 49ers have a legitimate chance to take the NFC West? If so, why? If not, explain.
Yes, they can if they figure out, their QB situation, and if John Lynch does whatever, that's needed to keep Debo. And, the defensive side, how you mentioned earlier, callers, great defense. Their receiver core, it's pretty good. The running back, another, great side of the ball. However, with Jimmy, it's, during the regular season, it just seems to be inconsistent. However, the numbers do show that when it comes to when push comes to shove, in the playoffs, he does produce. Even though, they fell short against the Rams, but, that was just, a silly play call. Just, before the call even happened, or, before, Jimmy, hiked the ball, like I knew something, like he was just going to completely mess up that play. The play call was awful. And just his overall game against the Rams was just awful. But if you take, the good and the bad, I feel like Jimmy did, he did have a solid season. It's just, that one play. But in the end, it's, whatever team that is able to basically have, the better play calling. And just, the Rams, their defense scheme, defensive side, they just, were able to find the game plan to stop Jimmy and Debo. So,
Brent?
There is no chance the 49ers are going to win that division. Here's why. We just talked about James Harden, all right? Jimmy G is the James Harden of the NFL, right? He worries about looking pretty. but listen, I'm telling you right now, if you go back and watch that game against the Rams, from Jump Street, he looked a little scared. And I played competitive sports all my life, and one of those was football. And I could always pick out the guy across the field from me who I could tell was scared. And that man was scared before that ball was even kicked off of that Rams defense. And guess what? Nothing's changed. One big piece, right? But they're still scary. And he still has to face them twice a year, maybe even in the playoffs. There's no way with that man at quarterback, unless they make a change, that the Rams don't win that division. And that's all I really have to say. Remember this. Jimmy G equals James Harden. Put a heart by it. You could throw in a Kardashian or wherever you want to throw in. Mark that down. Now, if they make a change at quarterback, I'll change my view, right? But so far, he's the quarterback, right? That's been clearly said. He's the quarterback still. He's scared of the Rams. And if you look back, he's scared of big games to a degree, too. I would agree he performs well in the regular season. Playoffs, yeah.
Can you help them out just a little bit?
Wait, so Jimmy G is their quarterback?
Currently.
Yeah, he's still.
But Trey Lance is there still.
For some reason, I had the idea that they were going to try getting Trey Lance a shot this season.
If they were smart,
they're trying to,
yeah.
but he didn't look so ready last year.
Yeah, well, Debo's not playing.
I think they're having a little Byron
even if
remorse.
Debo does stay on the team, who says he's going to be happy, playing on the team? Maybe he doesn't want to play 100% because he's just not satisfied.
He says he doesn't want to be a running back anymore, but no one's going to trade for him because that's the whole thing that he's adding value is that he can run. He can play both running back and receiver.
Yeah.
That's his value.
But he is a great receiver.
Well, he's not playing his cards smart, but that's a whole different.
He's not the only one out there doing it.
Debo, holler at us here at Sports Fellas. We can bring you on the show. No charge. Just get on the show. We'll talk. We want to hear your side of the story. Yeah. But both sides, Nick, and maybe Nick, you could maybe disagree or agree. Here's the deal. We haven't mentioned one name. Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan. Now let's look at the history here. The Super Bowl when Matt Ryan was killing it. What did he do in the second half? Start playing a little bit conservative. Start doing things that was not necessary. There goes that. What happened in that Super Bowl against the Chiefs? They were running the ball, and what happened? They stopped running the ball, and they put the ball in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands, and he was making mistakes. And here goes the championship again. You did the same thing. You put the ball in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands when it wasn't necessary. Mm-hmm. You guys were playing everything just right, and you just let the Rams go in there and get you. So to make that formula all work out, everybody, like from the defensive side, I mean, they're doing just great. They carried the team in the playoffs. Not Jimmy. Debo had one, but it was the defense that did it. And I don't know his name, the coach of the Jets, but when he was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, he did a solid job. Mm-hmm. I mean, to beat Aaron Rodgers, I mean, kicked him out. Then your boy, what's your quarterback again? Dak Prescott. It was all defense. Yeah. And then with a little bit of Debo magic. But now you've got Ayuka back, wide receiver. You got him back. Then their tight end. What's his tight end's name?
George Kittle.
Yeah.
You guys got the pieces. Yeah. And if Garoppolo, if at his prime, when he's throwing the ball right, when he's doing his progressions, I mean, I'm not no expert. I'm just saying, just watching the game. Come on, if you're going to use Trey Lance, this is the time. If you're still going to give Garoppolo another chance, do like what they always do. Have him for a little bit, put him on a restrictive contract. I'm not an agent. I'm just saying again. But it's just that if for the 49ers to come back and maybe win the division, that's what they're going to have to do. If they're going to sit back on a wild card spot, you're not going to be at home. Mm-hmm. They're dangerous at home. I mean, tell me the games. When's the last time the 49ers have lost at home? It's been a long time they've lost a playoff game at home. I mean, back in our day, because, we're kind of old here, but remember back in the Steve Young days, guys? Remember Steve Young, the Montana years? Before it was at Candlestick Park, and then when Steve Young was, I remember, 90 and 94. They lost in 93, and then in 94, they beat the Cowboys. I mean, the 49ers is just a prominent team going in, but the Rams are the new team. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one to Brent. Brent, you are the winner of this new
Cheers. Congratulations.
Thank you. Which Kardashian did I win? Just to be clear.
Who's left over? You got Chloe.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that would work. I would say Kris Jenner, but I don't know. We're just going to leave it in friendly terms. So, tune into the next show. We'll have another segment of Mano a Mano. Of course, another giveaway for Eddie's money. So, any final thoughts before we go?
Oh, just a shout out to the crew. Thanks, Eric and Powell. Thanks for all the hard work you guys do.
Oh, just another shout out to my Angels. Looking good this season. Still keeping it up.
And then once again, a big shout out to you, Carlos, for, having me here once again. And Bucks and 7.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that. Thank you for bringing me back. And I guess I just shout out my two boys at home, my wife that's letting me be here. And
Thank
watching,
you.
Yes, and watching both of them. So I got to give her a shout out.
Shout out to my lady and also Carlos, or I think they're one and the same. And then also shout out to Eric in the back for helping us out. And shout out to Jimmy G for overthrowing that player and giving us a Super Bowl and breaking a curse after 50 years. That's how terrible you are.
Absolutely. I don't know where to start. Well, let's, first of all, thank you guys in general, especially the OG. Brent, I'm glad you're back.
Absolutely.
Ed, thank you so much for your segment there. So be kind. Give back to the community. Don't be cheap now. If you got any Dallas stuff giveaway, of course, be thoughtful. Driston, always, man, thank you so much. And Nick, hey, I wish you the best in everything. Our friend, his lady got a job in Lawrence, Kansas, going to school. She's going to school.
Rock Chalk.
Yeah, Rock Chalk. So best of that. It's not a goodbye. It's just wishing the best. Chris, as always, man, Bengals, man. Bengals. Who dey? We'll stay in there. And then also, I want to say overall, thank you to you guys, the audience. Thanks for making it possible for us to just sit here, get together, us guys, just talk about sports. When we're getting away from the things that's just kind of just beating us down on everyday life, we can kind of find our little getaway and talk about sports. So thank you guys. So tune into the next show. We will talk about the NBA Finals. We will talk about the Stanley Cup Finals. We will also talk a little bit more about the NFC and the AFC, and then just kind of talk a little bit more baseball. So we will bring back Chuck's Dugout. So we'll give you a recap of who's doing what in the MLB. Other than that, thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. We look forward to hearing you in the next episode.